Now, evening, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome to the One Night Survival podcast with me hosting tonight, Mick from Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, and joining me tonight is Sticks from Sticks Outdoors and Bushcraft, and Owen from Life's a Hobby. And tonight we're going to be talking about the One Night Survival, what drives us, what pushes us forth, what we think you guys could get involved with, and why we're doing it, and also what inspired us? What made us as young people, or even as adults, if you were late coming to it, decide I'm not playing football with my mates. I'm going up the woods. I'm going to build a camp. I'm going to go frighten the life out of some rabbits. What inspired you to do that? Where did you find your love of this? Sticks, we'll start with you, mate.
For me, Mick, it was bit of a funny one because it wasn't until later on in life.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a kid, I was running around with my mates, building dens and stuff like that. But actual bushcraft, yeah, that didn't pop up until I was in my twenties,
Yeah.
my late twenties. I started watching a lot of Joe Robinette.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just came from there really. And
Yeah, I like Joe
I hit a bad
Robinette.
patch. I hit a bad patch in life.
Yeah.
Like depression wise. And yeah, I just started taking bushcraft a bit more seriously, started going out camping a bit more, just that solitude.
It's one of those wonderful things, isn't it? That's one thing nature can give us all is a bit of a mental reset. It's
Yeah.
really does repair the brain and takes us to another place as well where we're not surrounded by all the pressures of the day. You're not sitting there watching the news, seeing the horrible stuff on the news. You haven't got the boss in your ear roll. You're out there.
Yeah,
doing your
I
thing.
said before, I think I said before, like it's like finding yourself again because you do, like you're saying, you get caught up in your day-to-day life and you get stuck in a routine and yeah, sometimes going out on your own, solitude, you find yourself again. I
Fixes
mean, at the end of the day, the person you are when you're on your own is the person you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're the type of person to walk through the woods and throw rubbish on the floor, but then only pick it up for a YouTube video, when you're out on your own, that's the person you really are. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's sort of an honesty
Mick,
to yourself.
Sticks,
Yeah.
you just said you find yourself again. And
Yeah.
what I find is that when I'm out here, I find myself. It's like, it's just, it's like everything else is. Just when you said that, I was lying here and I was like, that's exactly what it is. You find yourself again every time you do it, and that's why it's
Every single time, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I was very, very lucky to grow up in a very rural environment. So for me, those woods were my playground. They were, literally. I stepped out the front of the house, I'm into a woods, and that was it was there for me all the time. So as a kid, I had a quite in a one way, a bit of a lonely childhood because there weren't any other kids around to join in with, to play with, apart from one or two. And as kids, you bust up, I'm not talking to you, and that was it. Or their mum and dad would go, you're not playing with him. So I'd be off over the woods,
Had that
invariably with my brothers and the dog. And we would just build camps. We would do things.
Yeah.
My inspiration was Saturday morning pictures, right? And it was watching the old Tarzan movies. It was watching the old westerns and
it's
things
like Famous Five.
yeah. It
The
was
the Famous Five. I remember that
yeah,
was kind of this adventure, and there was a lot of programs like that where you went exploring.
yeah,
And even coming up here tonight, it was like I had to go back down and get water, and to come back, you kind of like, right, do I know exactly where the tent is? And it's you're exploring. Each time you go down one way and you come back a different way, and you're like, why didn't I go down this way?
One of the
Stuck in
greatest
tree.
memories for me as a kid was all of a sudden, I don't know why, but we had a little out the front of our house was like a little common. It's about 100 meters wide, about a mile long, and then you had the woods, and in it had this little divot. And this particular summer, that divot filled with water created this little pond. And Me and my brothers had watched a western where they were like rafting down this river, and that was it. We were bloody collecting these huge logs, manhandling logs from the woods for miles, laying them all out, and that we pinched a load of rope and baling twine off my dad, and we spent weeks roping these things together, and eventually heaved them out onto the pond, stood on it, punted it once, and it literally went chunk into the other side. It moved about a
It's
foot,
very
about 100
thin.
boards, but it was the adventure wasn't in actually getting out and rafting. The adventure was in the creating, the making.
Yeah, building the raft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the building the raft. It was one of the few times I think me and my brothers actually got on, because we were all this set goal. And I think
Building a raft. I got all inspired there when you said that, Mick. I was like, you got to do 10 press ups because we're building that raft. It's the journey. It's the journey to the. It's the journey to the way. I don't care about you guys. I'm definitely doing 10.
2, 3. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Ranger Rock is he's the
There's
mechanical
10 done us.
inspiration to us all.
Oh Lord,
We get messages through
too late for
like,
press ups.
give me 10 press ups, give me 10 set ups, give me 15 set ups, and this sounds quite silly to some people, but this is an inspiration to us. We're training at the moment for a 120k walk, and so
To work together.
human nature is lazy. None of us. Tomorrow I will start my regime. Tomorrow I will start my regime. Working as a team, Ranger Rock, and I was going, I'll tell you what, do 10 press ups. You do that 10, 15 times a day, it's hundreds of press ups. Makes a difference. Same thing is with getting out and doing the walks. Now I walk every day now. So when I walk, I get hold of the guys. I'm doing a walk. It inspires them to do a walk. So this is how we help one another, and hopefully help other people. Hopefully other people watch our videos and go, do you know what? If them old bugger Mick can do it, I can do it. If Mick can go from walking 3Ks to 12Ks a day, I can do it. It's that is it's one of those things. If I think if as a little group of buddies, if we can help one other person,
Not only that, Mick, the fact that we drop down and do the press ups every time he says it, no matter what time, it shows that there's a sense of brotherhood there, a sense of solidarity.
Yeah, I know, but the trouble is,
like when we're on the walk, we know that we've got each other's back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The problem for me is like today, I'm halfway through the supermarket, stop and give. For God's sake, there's people walking around me, sort of like, what's he doing? Why is he doing press ups in the middle of the supermarket, the shop? Who does this man think he is? But again, it's the drive to do it, isn't it? We all need occasionally, as human beings, we all occasionally need that hand on our shoulder, just going, "Go on, mate, you can do it. Go on, one more." Just
that's what I mean. For the walk, it kind of shows that aspect of it.
Well,
but,
as I've said to you, that will be the thing.
A bit of reassurance in each other for the walk.
Right. So I'm going to have a low day. I'm just going to have a low day.
Yeah.
You're going to have a low day. And on those low days, you're going to need your mates, not just sort of going, "Come on, bud, you can do it." You may even need them to turn around and go, "Oh, come on, mate. You're slowing us up. Come on, just push it out. Yeah. You can do this. Get your arse in gear, pick yourself up and push through it." Right. And at the end of the day, it's building that relationship.
What would Ranger Rock say?
Brother, give me 10. You are slacking. But I think
when you're having that down day, Mick, Ranger Rock's gonna be there going, "What is a bad day? This is not a bad day. I'll show you a bad day.
I'll give you a bad day."
Can do it.
But I think the other thing is when you look at the great explorers, right? They didn't go out there and go, "Oh, mate, did you get a splinter in your finger? Oh, tell you what, sit down for a couple of hours. Don't worry about it. What, we're stuck in the ice? Oh, never mind." No, they didn't. They sat there and they went, "Do you know what, mate? You're putting the food on. You get the food on. Kick your ass and gear. Those ropes need to be sorted. That admin needs to be sorted. That shelter needs to be built. You need that push. You need that impetus, and that comes
tough love.
Yeah, you also need that love.
Mick, we made a very basic decision at the start. Sorry to cut across you. We made a very basic decision at the start to trust each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 10. You're going to do 10. We're
Yeah.
going to do the walks, right? We were like, what was it? What was it? 15 a day,
Yeah.
15
Mm.
sit-ups,
Yeah.
10 press-ups. And what was it the first week? Was it 21K or something like that? Was that what it was?
Okay.
20,
Achieved
3
21.
7s,
Wait.
21. 3 7s, 21. Yeah.
Mm.
And now, like, what stemmed out of that is a bicycle. I've gone on bicycle rides that I haven't done in years.
Yeah.
Just because it's like this,
But
this
it grows.
knowing that you're going to do we're not going to have a problem when we're on the walk. That's
No.
Yeah.
kind of the way I look at it.
But that's the thing, isn't it? If we
It
build
won't be a
up to
sore
it,
foot.
when we actually come to the walk, we're going to get so much more pleasure out of it because we're able to do it. We know we're able to do it before we even start. There's no trepidation. And as I said to you before, there's so many places to visit on the route. It's that case of, do you know what? Okay, it's a mile off route, but let's go and have a look at that old Iron Age settlement. Let's go and have a look at that hill fort.
Yeah.
That's going to add
82 miles could turn into bloody 100 miles.
exactly. But then why would you want to walk up? This is one of the things that I've watched a few videos of other people doing it. There's a couple of them out there. Don't get me wrong, the guys are brilliant. They do the walk in 4 days, but they're literally just head down.
Head down and walked.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you are on a track that has been walked since the Neolithic times. It is the oldest track in the United Kingdom or in the British Isles. Our most ancient ancestors, all the way through the Romans, through the Pilgrims, through the Middle Ages, and that's it, have moved up and down this track. You are taking the footsteps of history. Right?
Yep.
There is so much to see along it. I want to see it. I want to experience
Yeah,
it.
same here.
I want that moment up there when I'm actually thinking to myself, okay, I'm doing this for fun, but once upon a time, somebody did this because he had to do it. He had no choice.
Yep.
He was driving cattle along here, or geese, or whatever. You know, it's that link, it's a connection.
Are we going to tell them about some of the methods? Are we going to say anything about any of the methods that we're using that we're going to employ to do it? Are they for a different day?
Yeah, I mean, we can do, or we can. I mean, okay. So it's a self-sustaining walk. We sustain ourselves entirely on it. So there's 4 of us. Okay, there's Chris, me, Owen, and Dave. Dave is our cameraman, and we have 2 vehicles. So at the end of each day, we will drive a vehicle from the point we've reached back, collect the vehicle from the morning, move that forward, and then that day, at the beginning of the next day, move 1 vehicle forward to our end point for that day. So that means every day we've got to attain that goal, or there's our tentage. There's the main hill. There's it's a goal you've got to attain every single day. You can't sit there and just go, do you know what, done enough today? Let's put the tents up here, because that's the driving force for us. We must make that point every day. And at the beginning,
And if we come across any issues, the car's not far. We're not
unlike
stuck.
a lot of other people, instead of having a support team that are going to be there, set the kitchen up, got it all organised for you, we've got to go sort the cars out, move ourselves forward, move all our admin forward, put the tentage up, sort the food, sort our kit, sort our own personal admin, hit the sack, try and get 8 to 10 hours kit, and then go through the whole process in the morning, pack up, put everything away, move 1 car forward, come back, start the walk, make that goal. And that's a self-sustained role. And there's a lot of admin involved in this. There's going to be a lot of effort. There's going to be a lot, people think, oh, it's going to be easy because you've got a car, it's got your tents in it, you're not carrying any weight. But you're going to be carrying what you need for the day. And you've also 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at the end of the day, sorting the admin, swapping the vehicles over. And that is a practical thing. Yes, there's going to be.
We're still walking the miles, but it's adding a bit extra on.
People are going to say to me, oh, yeah, but I'd carry everything I needed for the entire journey. Well, okay, you do that. Okay, it's 120k. So if you're making 20k a day or 20 miles a day, even if it's 89 miles, 20 miles a day, so you're talking about 4.5, 5 days slogging. And if something goes wrong, you haven't got it. You can't afford to steer off the track with that time scale at all. You're literally going to be deadlining the track the whole time. And you're carrying a lot of weight. That's 5 days worth of food, tentage, any clothing, any admin, any cook gear, first aid kit, anything else that you need to carry with you, a change of gear for weather if the weather goes
The
bad.
nice thing,
Yeah,
Mick, you were saying about we were saying about putting the car out in front. Even when we get to the car,
yeah,
or when we get to the next campsite and our tents are there in the car, um, it can be a situation where we put up tents, go back and get the
yeah,
previous car from that day. So we always have the cars together as well,
yeah, yeah. That's
at
it.
night. The
Yeah,
two
yeah.
cars
Always
with
got the
all
guys,
the
always
material.
got, always got that admin there. The thing is, though, I don't know if you've sussed it yet, Owen. Like, Dave doesn't drive. Chris doesn't drive.
Hmm.
So like,
Yeah. So
so
it's up to you and me. Yeah, I
we're
have sussed
sorting
it.
out
Yeah.
who's putting the tents up and who's going back to get the cars. Because it's a long bloody way to go back and get that car. Did you see that little pub on the way?
Yeah, I already said. I already said.
Did you see that little pub? No, I think
I'm gonna
Chris
be
has been
sitting
on
there.
well,
I'm gonna be sitting there getting all the food ready, setting the
there's no
tents up. They're
reason.
gonna be sitting in the pub.
we roll back in and go,
No, there's no reason
"What,
why
do you
the
know what, Chris? I don't.
three of us
I just
can't
go
go in the
straight
car.
to bed. Don't feel much eating, mate. I don't know what it is. No, we'd never do that to you. We'd bring you a steak.
Now, to be honest, we should be making good time anyway. So we
Yeah,
should never.
it's
Yeah, we
it's
should never be in a
teamwork.
position where it's getting to the point where one of us have to stay.
No, it's teamwork as well. It's effort.
Mm.
It's teamwork. At the end of the day, it's about
I
being
think
a team.
the training, the bit in between it is the most enjoyable bit for me. This bit, it
Yeah,
keeps me fit
yeah.
and it gives me a target of something to train
Gives
for,
you
a
a
reason
drive.
to train.
Yeah.
Goal, innit?
Yeah,
It's
it's
goal.
so important.
Something
So
to
when
achieve.
you guys said it to me, and I appreciate you asking me as well, but when you guys said it to me, I was like, this is exactly what I need. How can we achieve it then as a group, even though we're separated by so many miles? How can we
Yeah,
achieve it? And it's actually the best gym class ever on
yeah.
WhatsApp. I never even thought about this as a scenario.
We
Actually, that's it. Sorry, lads. Talking about gym class.
Oh,
all right.
he's gonna kill us. You know that.
Yeah,
One,
it is.
2, 3, 4. We need to do some sit-ups as well. 5, 6,
I'm not going to do sit-ups.
7,
Not doing sit-ups. I'm
8,
doing sit-ups.
9,
What?
10. You can do the sides to sides. Vic, have you
You're
used
slow.
anything there, like a glass or a cup or anything that you could
Two
lift?
behind.
I don't know if I can do sit-ups in this tent. Let's try. 1. Oh, you can. 2. No excuses.
Yeah.
3,
Oh,
4, 5, 6. Oh,
He's
do you
got
want to
it.
know about
Crap.
this tent, by the way? Oh, what was I on? 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we shouldn't really be doing them. We're just doing them as an act right now, but we shouldn't really be doing them at night. We should be doing.
not when I'm drinking Guinness. Press up.
Oh, hang on a second. Did somebody say Guinness? Nick,
Yeah.
hang on. Did you say Guinness? Hang on. Because I've got to switch off red light here for a second. Okay, can anybody see this?
Oh yeah, all right. Hobnobs.
I can hear him.
Hang on.
I
Yeah.
don't need to see.
Chris.
I know that sound.
Chris, there's going to be three little tents set up on the Ridgeway, and at about 10 o'clock at night, you're going to hear rustle, 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 rustle. Crunch.
He's gonna be hiding them.
Crunch.
Have you got any hobnobs? No.
Right. So the only concern I have about this route,
I'll tell you what, my heart's
I'll
racing
be
now.
honest with you, I do have a big concern. I don't know about you guys. I don't believe Dave's keeping up with the training.
Look,
Dave hasn't sent nothing into the group chat.
Yeah. I mean, Dave's already said he doesn't want to be in the podcast. He doesn't want to be this, and he doesn't want to be that. I'm a bit
He's
concerned.
physical though.
He
He wants to do the walk, and he's up for being the cameraman. So
yeah,
we'll just have to drag him along, I guess.
We've end up putting him in a wheelbarrow or something, I think. But all we can do is drive him on. Drive him on. I'm going to cut a stick the first day. It's going to be the Dave stick. I'll be driving him on like a cowman up that track. Come
The
on,
old cattle stick.
thwack, thwack. Get on there, boy.
How can you do press ups and sit ups and then sit there and eat obnobs?
Because he's Ranger Rock. He is the man, the legend, the myth.
Let's answer that question then. Yeah, how can you do it? Yeah, go above and beyond the requests. I'm easily 5 ahead of you still since the start.
How
Easily.
No, I haven't been doing your 10s. While you've been going 1, 2, I'm already on 4.
Owen, do you remember the story about the 2 bulls standing in the field, the old bull and the young bull, seeing the gate open?
Walk down, I'll fuck them all.
Yeah. No, it's at the end of the day, this is a nice thing with what we're doing as well. So we got 3 very different characters, 3 very different backgrounds, very different life stories, and that we don't know one another's life stories. That's one of the things we've never actually got into. Really, is we've just accepted one another for who we are, where we are, what we are, and that's nice because there's none of this. Oh, you know, he's had that, he's had that. We know a little bit about one another. And it's refreshing. It's to make friends, to set a goal, to achieve the goal. We're going to come out of this like lifelong buddies. You know, you're all going to come to my funeral. It's as simple as that. And
or you'll be at mine.
Oh well, that'd be a bad one, then, wouldn't it?
We know how. I think we know most of the stories about how we've been burnt at this stage.
Yeah.
Accidents. Or
Accident.
types of knowledge. It's like different types of knowledge with plants
How did you learn
stuff?
Things you've learned and realised through your experience of bushcraft and outdoorsmanship. Now, I learned not to wear nylon trousers very early on. After sitting on a log next to a campfire and actually sitting on an ember that was the size of a 50p piece, and it was a very cold day. I was wearing nylon trousers. I sat down. I must have stayed down for about 3 or 4 seconds before elevating myself in a rapid manner, running in circles, beating my arse. And it was like something from a comedy. I actually sat in a puddle. Right, it was that intense, and it left me with a burn the size of 50p piece, and it was a deep, deep burn in my arse cheek. I've one of the things I always look at with trousers now, are they flammable? It's a weird thing. Are they flammable? Are them buggers going to burn?
Wow. Ever since, how long ago was that, Mick?
I was about 14, 15 years old.
Wow, that's a long memory. Yeah.
Just turned 59. Oh yeah, it was one of those memories that went in and stayed in. It was a learning curve. Yeah, that stayed with me my entire life. The other one I think is not licking electrified cow fences, no matter how drunk.
You don't want to do that, Mick.
No.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, we've had a few different kind of getting to know me sessions.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy the fitness part of it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love.
Well, I've got to say a big thank you to you, Owen, you and Chris,
because
you've done so much for my fitness. Like the improvement in 3 weeks.
You have, Mick. We've been watching you. You're saying that you are.
Mick, you've been putting the work in, mate. You've been going at it more than what I have.
But I needed the goal.
More than what I have.
I needed the goal, and occasionally I need the push. You know, it's one of those things.
Well, you're bloody smashing it, geezer. Absolutely smashing it.
We'll sit on the day. We'll sit on the walk. That's the thing. You know, it's still a long way off. I've still got to keep the regime up. It's all right. I've got off to a flying start, but am I going to make the whole distance?
We just need to take it easy. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Anything I've learned from life is if I try and build that muscle fast, it's going to kick me on my ass for 3 weeks.
Well, I've got 4 days off now. I'm having 4 days off. 4 days. I'm not doing any spear walking at all. I'm not doing anything more than I would necessarily need to do. I've got 4 days.
Nice.
Monday back into it. Monday back into it like a beast.
That's because of the camp, though, Mick.
Yeah, but what I'm
Yeah, you're busy over the weekend, so you ain't got
what,
time.
what I've decided to do now, I think I've got my physical self to the point where I'm doing 12K a day. So what I'm now going to do is 12K Monday, short walk on the Tuesday, 12K on the Wednesday, short walk on the Thursday, 12K on the Friday, short walk on the Saturday, and then a 15K on the Sunday. Back to the short walk on the Monday. That way, give myself a day on. It's like the old gym thing. You don't go to the gym every single day.
Oh.
Go to the gym, you give yourself a repair day. Go to the gym, give yourself
Sticks.
a repair day.
It lagged there.
I think one of the things I was saying to you, if we want to, one of the things I've learned from walking is, whatever the distance is that you need to cover, you need to get your body up to that distance. And if it's 122 kilometers, like 77 kilometers is a long way, right? That's probably 50 something miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of walking in a week to do 50 miles.
Yeah.
Like, so I think we have estimates of 12 days. I think they're, you know, they're good estimates. But we were also talking the other day that we're
I
going
think
to
they're
have
being kind, I'll be
bad
honest.
days and good. We're going to have bad days and good days as well. Where someday where we can hit 24K, and someday when we can only hit 19 out of 21. What was it to do it over 12 days? Was it 21K a day? Was it something like that? Or over 7 days?
It's 120K.
It's 120K, yeah.
So we were saying 8 to 10 days
21.
will be good, is the average. And that is the average. It seems to be the average time to do it is between 8 and 10 days. If we can do it in below the 8 days, pat ourselves on the back in a big way.
I think we're going to do it in 6 or 7.
It'd be
Oh
nice.
yeah, my 77 is always hill miles.
Yeah.
I keep getting this wrong. The worst, because everything I measure is hill miles.
Range of rock goes vertical.
This is the ridge. It's a ridge that goes like this, and then about halfway through it goes down.
Yeah.
And then it comes back up again. And that's going to be our slow days, about halfway through it, coming back up.
I've got a challenge. I've got a challenge for you both on that. Okay. And that is on that dip, okay, it comes down to the Thames. So down to the Thames, off with the pack, into the water, swim the Thames, out the other side, and on with it. I'm not hearing the enthusiasm, guys. Not hearing the enthusiasm.
The Thames? I lived in London. I know what the Thames is like.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'm not joking. I wouldn't swim the Thames. Sod that. Yeah, you could probably walk across it now. Anyhow, I've got what we're looking at time. We've got 9 minutes, 20 seconds left on this recording, guys. So I'll let somebody else take over for a minute. I'll keep hogging the camera. Silence.
Enthusiasm. Range of rock. Take control.
Yeah. So, come on in,
What
guys.
got you, Owen?
Yeah.
I don't think you answered. What got you into the outdoors?
Being 10, I'd say. Being 10, turning 10 years old. I just loved it. Just loved it. Any sort of wilderness setting. Anything at all. The older I've gotten, the more I appreciate time to myself. And I came to the realization that I was afraid of time to myself. And this is when I was in my 20s. Say I was about 26.
Yeah.
And I got really used to time by myself. And now it's the only time I get to feel like that, but it is camping. So I look at it like a real big holiday with me, if you know what I mean. But like last week, I didn't feel like this. We were talking last week. Yeah, we were talking like this. Last week, I didn't feel like this. But tonight, and it's that knowledge of that it will come, that you can enjoy it, that you can kind of be at peace, or you can have a peaceful night like tonight.
Yeah.
I love them, or thunderstorms. That has me addicted to this. And then you're always kind of trying to want to do something a bit more different. Um, so
Well,
like
that
walking in the outdoors or camping in the outdoors. I love both of them things. Camping, you really get to, I don't know. I don't know if that answers the question though. You know,
we
I
were
think the
we were
question was what
we,
got
Yeah,
me
it
into it.
describes it.
It was turning 10.
we were
That got me into
laughing
it. And then
the
it's
other.
You just
been
naturally found it. You just
growing.
naturally found the love
Yeah,
for it. That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
and I
You
would
just
have went
naturally
away
found a
from it.
love for it.
I would have went away from it during my 20s maybe or 30s,
yeah.
and then I came back to it. And that's what when you said finding yourself, I realized some voice inside my head said get up a mountain, get out, get up a mountain. I used to mountain bike,
Yeah.
and then I stopped for about 14 years, and some little voice inside my head went get out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is me. This is actually what I enjoy.
It,
Walking down a hill at night with loads of head torches on, like 60 years ago, we used to mountain bike and we would stick. Do you remember the little tiny, like pen torches?
yeah.
We used
Yeah,
to stick them into our helmets and come down through forests. But you weren't going very fast. The light wouldn't light very far in front of you, but you felt like you were going really fast.
yeah.
And if you fell over, you didn't really get injured because you were actually going
There
slow,
is
But
there's an exhilaration to be found out there, isn't there? One thing I'd like to get onto because we're down to 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. So one of the things I would like to get on. We were talking the other day. We were laughing. You did that short with the sound of the chickens and that. So this is one thing I'd say to anybody watching this that's wondering about One Night Survival. So we set up One Night Survival. The idea was to inspire people to go out, have a go at challenges. Let's go out and pit yourself against one night in the woods or moors or wherever you live and experience that feeling of oneness with nature by having the minimum amount of kit. Now, it's something we never wanted people to feel afraid, but there should be that element of nervousness. Well, I don't even know nervous is the right word, but if you
Yeah,
are
I
afraid,
was nervous.
if you are afraid of the dark or you're afraid of it, the only way you will beat it, the only way you will ever deal with it is by facing it. And we all have fears. I have fears. Chris has fears. Owen has fears. So it's quite a natural thing to do. The difference is to find that inner courage that makes you face that fear. I mean, I don't think there's any one of us that hasn't been out on an adventure, camping on a solo or something like that, where at 2 o'clock in the morning you haven't suddenly sat bolt upright and gone, "What the
Yeah.
bloody hell was that?"
Still now, Mick.
Yeah,
It
but
still
you,
happens
yeah,
to me now.
yeah.
yeah, but you sit there and
Last week
rationalise it.
my tent flapped. Last week my let's give you some real time feedback from a tent. Last week that I didn't zip it all the way down, and it flapped in with a breeze. You know the way the tent will pull itself in, and
Yeah,
if you haven't zipped it,
yeah,
the bit of material flaps in. It flapped in, but my brain converted that noise into footsteps behind my tent,
yeah,
and it wasn't footsteps. I think we I don't know weren't talking then, but if you're not on point with stuff and investigate what it is, it is scary. Like there's nothing you can't change the fact that it is scary. It is scary to
yeah.
come out.
It
There's
is.
a lot of
Do you know
trust
what?
in.
Do you know what? Actually, putting on your headphones or watching something on your phone while you're in the woods is a good distraction.
It's the best, yeah.
If you
It
get
is.
nervous, if you do get nervous and you want to stick it out, that is a good option. Within 5-10 minutes, you kind of forget about it, and
Take
then
your
half
mind
an hour
off
later,
it.
you remember and take it off and realize, oh, it was nothing.
I mean, for me,
Mm.
I'm very lucky in the fact that I grew up. When I come back to it again, I grew up with it. I grew up in a dark place, um, so it was. You probably, I probably there's a
You
road,
got used to that darkness.
yeah, but there's a road where I grew up. Even in my 20s, it was only 100 meters stretch. This one road that I used to go. I used to walk back from the pub on it, and every time I came to it, there was a lamppost, and you come to this lamppost. It was the last piece of light for 100, 150 meters, and it went up round a corner.
Oh,
And every
blackness
single
of night.
time I would have to
Mm.
stop there and go,
Mm.
I'd run. I would run as fast as I could to the other end. And at the other end, you went under a little bridge. And as soon as I come out the other side of that bridge, good, I'm okay now.
Yep.
But that
I've
little,
done that through alleys growing up.
yeah, that one stretch used to terrify the
Tho-
hell out of me.
Those senses are there for a good reason.
Oh
They
yeah,
have kept you alive right up
Yep.
to now, Mick. Kept me alive. And there's, if people do sense things, what happens is, to me, is my brain, the next time it hears that tent, doesn't jump straight away. It gets used to the sound that is the tent making that
yeah,
noise.
yeah.
And it gets used to the sound that, there's something
It's that
something
trust your
like a bird.
instincts, isn't it? Trust your
Yep.
instincts,
It is,
100%.
good trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah.
master your instincts. You can't just start running or you're going to impale yourself on a tree or something. But
Practice
you've
them.
got to
Yeah,
trust that
practice them.
instinct. And you've got to rationalise. You have to, I've had people sort of sit there and they go, "Is that a bear?" You go, "Mate, we're in the middle of Surrey. Hasn't been a bear seen in Surrey in 400 years. Right? It's not a bear. It's probably a deer,
I think, I see some of these videos make sometimes that people kind of make something up that they've heard a noise, or they genuinely hear a noise. And unless it's been investigated to the end that it is something, I
That's a
think
minute,
it's
guys.
terrible, because I've been out here so many
Is that your
times,
time up?
We've got a minute left. So what we do, start winding up.
I've been out here so many times, and nothing has
Yeah.
has ever hurt me or touched me or anything,
In-
and it's
Invariably, no. The only thing that's going to hurt you out there is yourself.
sunrise.
Yep.
Yeah, or
So
sunrise.
what I will do, I'll let you
Thanks,
guys.
mate. That was lovely.
I'll let you,
Thank you.
I'll let you guys wind it up now, and then what I'll do is I'll do a little piece to camera to wind it up.
Go ahead, Mick. You only got a minute, ain't you?
So yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining us on this little podcast. This is the first one. I'll edit it up tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see how it goes and see how it's received. And anybody that's watching this has got any ideas for the next one, put it in the comments. So, guys, that was the One Night Survival podcast, the very first one I've attempted to do. There will be more. If you want to see more, let us know, and I'll get me, Owen, and Sticks together, or maybe we'll get Sticks to do one, and then Owen to host one. But let us know. What we want from you guys is ask questions. What do you want us to discuss? What do you want to know about us? What do you want to know about our methodology, our systems, and so on? Again, it's all about community sharing ideas, methods, and so on. And yeah, you're welcome. So please send us a comment. Let us know, what do you want to see us do? What do you want to know about us? We're quite open and honest, guys. We'll share it with you, and hopefully through that we'll inspire other guys or other people to get out into the woods to have their adventures. Now, if you're somebody who's not necessarily comfortable with doing a one-night survival, find a mate. Start doing it as a group. I advocate people go out, find a friend, say, do you know what, how'd you fancy a camp? Yeah, go out, find that inner child, find that inner sense of adventure, and enjoy it. Okay, so anyhow, from me, from Sticks, and from Owen, Ranger Rock, and Dave, have an absolutely fantastic week. Have your adventures. Stay safe. Guys, please enjoy. Till next time, this is the One Night Survival podcast. Mickey, Sticks, Owen, and Dave,